Do you have budget anxiety? That's the slightly unsettling feeling that something somewhere might be happening. And that something or someone might be spinning up some resources in your AWS account without you knowing, and you wind up spending more money than you planned. Or it could just be that you want to have a good sense from one day to the next of how much stuff you're consuming, so you know when to look deeper because your account has been a little bit busier than usual. Now, you can't watch your account's console 24 hours a day. No, really you can't. But long experience tells us that everyone feels better about their cloud journey when they feel in touch and, most importantly, in control of their consumption of cloud resources. So Matt Vaughn, our intrepid principal developer advocate for HPC, figured out some ways to take daily budget alerts from the AWS budget service and send them to some unusual places to make sure you don't miss them. Now, for the sake of this video, we're going to walk along a few different paths. But first, let's tell you about the destinations. You probably know your AWS budgets can watch your account and send you alerts by email. The alerts can be daily, weekly, or monthly summaries telling you what you've spent. Now, those are good because they let you grow some familiarity with your usage. Budgets can send us email alerts, and it takes literally less than 3 minutes to set one up. But email is only okay if you're paying attention to it. Spam filters gobble things up. And of course, if an email alert gets buried under the carnage of your inbox, you'll be plenty upset if it turns out you missed an important thing happening and you didn't find out until your bill arrived at the end of the month. That's why we have two other destinations for messages that we think will help. The first one is Slack. It's great because you can have your budget updates or alerts sent to your team's Slack channel. It means that everyone in your lab, department, or work group will come along for the ride. You'll all develop a feel for how much you're spending each day, and any one of you can act if anything ever goes off the charts. The other place we have in mind for these alerts is your phone. We found a great $5 application in the App Store that'll take a short email and turn it into a push notification that goes right to your phone's home screen. It takes almost no effort to set it up, and it's a perfect way to escalate to get your attention. We suggest reserving this for messages that are telling you when something goes wrong, rather than just your daily summary. That's mainly so these alerts retain their ability to shock you and get your attention. So, we're going to show you how to send your daily summary to your group's Slack channel, and we'll show you how to send overspend alerts to your phone. By the time you're done, you'll be getting daily updates about your activity in the cloud, and you'll have the certainty that nothing can happen without you noticing. So Matt, you've created this budget alert blog. Can you give us a quick cook's tour through here, explaining at a high level what these services do?
Okay, to get started, we've logged into the AWS console, and the first thing that you'll see is that right off the bat, if you're using the default configuration, there's already cost and usage information. So there's a couple of ways to find the billing dashboard. You can just go to your account menu, and you can go to billing dashboard. You can always just type in billing into the search bar, and you can get to it from there. You're going to care about budgets, which we cover in the blog. And then in the future, I recommend that you also take a look at budgets reports. So let's go to the budgets. And I, as you see, have already created one. You can have as many budgets as you want. You can see additional details, like if you've got alert thresholds set up. Let's just take a look at what one of these budgets looks like. This is the kind of budget that you would set up where it's got a really low spending threshold. I can use this kind of budget to notify myself every day when there's any spend at all. So how does information from budgets get out to Slack or to your email inbox or ultimately to your phone? We have Amazon's simple notification service. So SNS is basically, it is a service that is a pipe for communications. It's usually used for machine-to-machine communications. Other mechanisms, systems can subscribe to the messages that you're sending via SNS, and they can take action on them. The nice thing is that you can have one single source of information. Multiple things can subscribe to it. So a key thing in SNS are the concept of topics. So this is a topic that I set up for the budgets blog. Other connections, other orchestrations, when you need to refer to this queue, say, I need to send something to this SNS topic. They'll usually ask you for the ARN, and this is what you'll be putting in. Another service that if you dig into the URL here, it says chatbot. And that actually brings us to the next Amazon service that we're going to wire together. Messages that get sent to and from SNS are machine readable. They are not really that interesting to people. What we want to do is we want to turn the message from SNS into something that's human readable, and we want to send it to Slack. So chatbot can talk to Amazon Chime, it can talk to Slack, and it can also talk to Microsoft Teams, although we don't have a Teams integration demonstrated here. So yeah, let's look. Just here's an example of what one of these looks like. This is an integration with ARM's HPC user group, and the configuration is something that we just call Demo Day. It goes into the Slack channel, Lab Technical Leadership. This integration is a consumer for this SNS topic that we talked about just a few minutes ago. The other side of the map, we have AWS budgets sending emails. It's really, really easy to get an email from your budget alert notification. When you're setting up your alert threshold, you just provide an email. You don't want to rely on being logged into Slack because maybe it'll happen over the weekend or maybe it'll happen at night. You don't want to rely on email because if you're anything like, Boof and I, your email is completely slammed. So we're going to send it somewhere that's really high priority where it's going to get your attention, and that is your phone. The way that we do that, application that costs $4.99 for a lifetime called Pushover that you can install on your iOS or Android phone. Those emails can get forwarded to Pushover. You can get a notification that pops through on your phone, rings a bell, is a banner, plays an air horn, etc. When your budget hits a certain threshold. Theoretically, the sequence of events for doing that would just follow the diagram that you have here on the page. But it turns out that to actually build this, we're going to work backwards, starting with the downstream parts, and then working back up to the billing dashboard.
And the blog that's going to have all of the details for this is where?
Day One HPC, the AWS HPC engineering community blog.
If you learned something from this talk, then please consider giving us a like and subscribing to the channel so you can find out when more videos like this are available. And if there's an area you'd like to see us go deeper into, don't hesitate to reach out and let us know. See you next time.